afternoon, my lovies. Welcome back to the Penny Chronicles. We've got an amazing panel of talent today. ¿Qué dices, Albert?
Pues aquí.
Listo.
Listo.
Welcome back, my co-host panelist, Albert Avila.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. We've got with us, welcome to the Penny Chronicles. My name is Laura Chavez Orozco. Today we bring a pretty fun topic. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. ¿Listos pues?
Listo.
Vámonos. So as I was saying, we have an amazing talent on the panel today. To start off, Mr. Freddy Lopez, local actor, stunt coordinator with Dopamine Productions. Thank you, Freddy, for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We know you have a lot going, so we appreciate you. Smack in the middle is our very own, and welcome back, Ms. Jasmine Martinez, Ricky D's dancer, local talent.
Hi, Jasmine. Now you got to teach me how to dance.
I'll try.
Sí, ahorita una dance lesson.
Que por cierto, we're waiting for the Ricky D's crew que venga a firmar la wall, eh?
Oh, that's true. Pues ahorita la firma Jasmine, ¿no?
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Sí?
Too much pressure.
No, ahorita la firmas. And then my very, very good friend, Rick Rodriguez, local drummer, singer, trainer, my trainer at the gym.
Hola.
Hola, welcome, Rick Rodriguez.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
And of course, our host, ¿quién?
There you go. And the crowd goes wild.
Yo, no le hubieras enseñado el applause button.
No, ya
No, ya sé más. Si los picas ahí.
It's going to be like a kid with a new toy.
Exactly. And behind the scenes, our producer, as always, gracias, Joe. Thank you for opening the studio for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Today's show is sponsored by Rio Seco Ag and Supply.
Eso. Gracias, Rio Seco.
All right.
So, speaking with the panel earlier, it's Sunday morning. Unos en el panel andan medio cruditos. How was everybody's weekend?
Pero andamos centrados.
A ver, ¿dónde fueron todos?
Good.
A ver, Freddy.
I was all over Cincy last night, so you know how that goes.
Eso. Y Jasmine también anda
I went
crudita.
to a friend's birthday party, and we really like to drink.
¡Ay, qué bueno!
It was my birthday on Friday, so it's been going on since then. But it's
Happy
healthy.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to our
Happy
very own Rick Rodriguez. Eso. Y el Albert también anda medio shaky.
Yeah, I know. I got to recover.
People aren't
Late
going to
night.
see him because I cut the screen off.
Yeah.
Para que no salga la
He's
shirt.
being a hater.
You can
Cowboy
edit it into, like, your own
Sunday.
Talk
team.
with the Cowboys.
Sí, Cowboy Sunday
Gotta support,
tonight.
Got to support those boys.
220, ¿no?
Yeah,
220.
They're
Sí.
starting off good. I'm glad they're
Yeah.
starting off good. I'm a Cowboys fan too. The thing is that as a real true Cowboys fan, we already know that sometimes there's mishaps.
Wait for that
There's
disappointment.
hiccups. Yeah. Let's not jinx it, like you said.
Yeah.
But
Well, you already know Diggs is already out with the
Yeah, I know.
ACL tear for the season,
sucks.
so that's unfortunate.
But Bland plays good, so we'll see how that goes. He's a good player.
well, they're starting off good. I mean, at least we got.
We're doing good so far, so I'm hopeful.
Yeah. So for the Cowboy fans, that's
Yes.
Do we have all Cowboy fans?
Todos Cowboys.
Todos
menos
Cowboys. you're not.
Jasmine.
Oh, no, Jasmine.
Menos
She's a
Jasmine.
Dodger fan.
Dodger
Well, I
fan.
mean,
fan.
she's
I
Martinez
like
too.
baseball
So.
and I like the Dodgers.
Y el Joe también, el Cowboy fan.
And the Dodgers are what the Cowboys are to football. Dodgers are for baseball.
Are you a Dodgers fan?
Me? Yeah.
I'm a Braves fan.
Yeah.
Okay, they're good too. They're good too.
Since I was a kid, I mean, like when I just been loyal, like actually whenever I like a team since I was a child, like that's the team
Yeah.
that I like.
Yeah. I'm also a Chargers fan and a Yankees fan. So
You're
being
a
in the
sports
military,
fan.
yeah,
Very
it's just because I've been in those places, so I supported those teams in that area. But I still a diehard Cowboy.
You know, the thing is that like when you actually see, it's not necessarily like the way I see it is. I've been a Cowboys fan, but let's say when you have a good quarterback, sometimes you're like, you know what, I'm going for that team. I'm rooting for that team because that kid is fucking busting his ass and he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. It's like Laura
you're like-
said, it's a all-around sports fan.
Yeah,
Completely.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sí. And that's why
And
we
there's
had to
nothing wrong
film.
with it.
We had to film early porque to interfere with
Yeah, you don't want to
you
mess
wanna
with
The
get away.
boys.
Sunday
Yeah.
football.
Sí, allá está otro fan, pero no quiso estar en el panel.
El Fred.
Mr. Fred Lopez Sr.
Dude, so I have a cousin. He's a 49er fan. And we're all Cowboys fan. He's a 149er fan. And I understand where a lot of people are like, fucking Cowboys fan, fuck. Oh, sorry. Or, you know what I mean? Like, screw you guys. Why? Because
Well, it's
there's a lot of righty fans. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And
There's fans that overdo it.
They overdo it,
Yeah,
yeah.
they don't know how to accept the loss.
yes,
Well, the
and
49er
yeah.
fans, they're kind of harsh. Los 49ers. y los-
49ers versus like Cowboys, they go at it.
Oh yeah.
Sí.
They will.
¿Cuáles son los de la Terrible Town?
Oh, Steelers.
Los Steelers. No, I think those are the worst. Not worst
I've
in a
heard
bad way.
Philadelphia.
Oh
Like
yeah,
their
that's the
their home
worst place to
games.
go.
Yeah.
De veras.
Yeah,
sí.
especially Cowboys. That's the
Sí.
worst place you want to go.
Phillies.
Yeah.
You know why they
wild
call the
place.
Steelers? It's because when they were actually like trying to, the Steelers, they were building the steel.
Yeah.
So
in Philly.
got the towers
I mean,
going,
in
like,
Pennsylvania.
New York, yeah. So it was the Steelers because they're.
Rick is our local historian. He educated us earlier
He's got
on,
all
on
the
the
stories, man.
on
The
the Liga de
burrito.
Burritos. Sí.
And the lucha libre.
En la lucha
Lucha
libre.
libre de
Sí.
burritos.
'cause
Now I
we-
know where burritos come from. I had no idea about that.
Ándale.
Yeah.
Early morning history lesson.
Yeah.
Pero bueno.
And it's badass that it's right across the border.
Yeah.
That's
Ándale.
ahí nació eso.
It's
yo.
like miles
no
away
idea.
from here. Where
Y la margarita, ahorita nos dices de la. Pero bueno,
Oh,
ahorita nos dices.
at
de-
Oh, the
Kentucky? That's at
margarita at
Kentucky,
Kentucky
right?
bar.
Yeah, I've been there. I've
Is
been
it?
there.
Yeah.
I had those
The
margaritas.
birth of the margarita.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're strong, but
¿Saben
So
qué?
they're
Ahorita
pretty
nos
good.
vamos por unas margaritas, ¿eh? Ay.
I forgot
Ya se
exactly
antojó.
where, but someone said that they actually started the margarita. And they were like, no, the recipe for the margarita started at the Kentucky bar. And they were like, no, we took the margarita. They're like, bullshit. We actually started the
Yeah.
recipe at the margarita at the Kentucky bar. So, and it's still going. So people go and they watch the games. And so they have a...
Bueno, pero la pano. It's not a history. Ya vamos a hablar del.
Pues qué bueno que ya, pues.
I was going to say
we're
that.
getting off
Ya cuando
subject.
comenzaron
Yeah.
con los
No,
Cowboys,
right.
ya iba a decir, okay, what's the
Yeah,
podcast
sí.
Ya
about?
ves, Joe, lo que comenzaste.
¿Ves? El historian.
I know.
Te vamos a tener aquí for history itself. Pero bueno,
Anyway.
today's, y ahorita nos das otro lesson, pero today's question, and believe me, research for the last 2 weeks, this topic has brought a lot of commentary, a lot of excitement. Can men and women be friends?
Yes.
It's an issue that causes a lot of stress in relationships. So I'm going to go through a series of questions. But in general, let's say, can men and women be friends when you're single? Is there attraction for one person? A ver, Freddie, let me pick on you.
Me?
Freddie's a very good-looking guy.
When you're single, you said, right?
When you're single, and then I'm going to go through the series.
Okay.
But can you be friends with a very attractive female? And obviously, you're very attractive. Dad and I talked about this earlier.
Oh, thank you.
A ver, ¿y qué crees tú? Can men and women be friends?
Yeah, when you're single, I mean, it just depends what you're doing, but you can have, a bunch of female friends. I've been through that. You have, friends. I've had friends that I've been in school with since like elementary school, so I don't see why you couldn't have female friends when you're single.
I'm glad you say that because when you're single, because you got to draw that limit. Because when you actually have a partner, you also have to have that respect for your partner to actually say, I have a partner. Now I have to cut you off.
Yeah,
As
that-
a friend.
that's
out
why
of
I'm saying
respect
single.
for your partner.
Singles.
Yeah, when I'm
Sí.
single. yes.
100%.
And
That's
you know
why
what?
I was making
and,
sure
and
that
you
that's
pointed
what the
out,
case was.
and you specify, which is actually really cool that you specify on that. because
On
when
that.
you're single.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just making sure because it's a different. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
See,
sure we'll
that-
talk about
You're
that.
right,
but
you're right.
Yeah.
Because being Jasmine, the only person in the panel who's in a relationship, ¿verdad? Yeah. Jasmine
We're all
is the.
single but her.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
broken. We're all
Sí.
broken.
We are all broken.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Pero
It'd be
so
like that these
so Jasmine has been in a relationship 8 years, I think.
9.
Nine years.
Dang.
So
That's
and then
Hit that applause button.
sí.
Time out. Yes.
9 years.
And Jasmine is our local Ricky D's dancer, so I'm sure you meet a lot of people when you're teaching. But how does your partner feel about you having male friends?
He accepts it with my best friend. I don't know. It's because he's boring.
Who's boring? Your partner? Sí.
Ah, la
He's
madre.
very like a
Already throwing him
person
under
in
the
the
bus.
corner.
Throwing
He
people
doesn't
out.
like to go out.
I hear
like,
change.
He's boring. No, like he's boring to go out with, and I like to go out and have fun. But I also understand like he's a homebody. It's okay. I like that too. So with my best friend that I'm a partner with at Ricky D's, I've had him. I started dancing with him, so I didn't cut him off, or not that I cut him off. I was already with my partner, my boyfriend, but it's a mutual, like, I want nothing with my dance partner and he wants nothing with me. We've only always been best friends because that's the relationship. It doesn't go past like, oh, I like you.
Which relationship started first?
With my boyfriend.
That's a
The
good
boyfriend?
question.
Yeah.
With my boyfriend, yeah.
But
See.
remember what
with
we
your
were just talking
boyfriend
about.
first.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A male will leave, will not leave his partner, like we were just talking about right now.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yes, y cuando un hombre te mueve el tapetito, like a girl, she'll be like, that's the guy I want to be with. And the difference between a man and a woman is that you're a man and you're like, that's my female. I'm going to stick to my female regardless of the situation.
But in the instance of Jasmine,
Yeah.
go ahead, Albert, because I know you were going to make the same point. Like they were already established, and then
Right.
here comes, and we've
The
met
dance
your
partner.
dance
That's
partner.
interesting.
Está muy guapo también.
Yeah.
Está
Here
muy
comes the
galán.
interception.
Looking guy.
Yeah. See. So how did your partner take to that? Was he okay?
Well, we worked together, so I would only see him like at work, and then when we started dancing, I mean, obviously at the beginning, it's always going to be like I don't know, but I've always told him like, look, me and him are just friends. I promise, nothing is ever going to happen. Like he doesn't. I'm not attracted to him that way,
Right.
And we've also established that, like me and my friend, that he's not attracted to me. I'm not attracted to him or anything like that. So it's a good boundary to set,
Right.
as
Yeah.
friends that are the opposite
Right.
sex.
And the relationship trust has a lot to do with it.
Completely.
So
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't have any trust going into it, forget it.
It's interesting you say that because as I was doing my research and taking polls this week and last week, the people, and verdad, Fer, ayer con tus nieces, it was like, they're like, no. La Bernice was like, no. Because she's she's been married for 20 some years now. And she's like, no, he cannot have a friend that comes out of the woodworks. Let's say they meet at work. Bernice was like, no. What do you think?
You just sparked something. Remember your sister Christy, what she said about me and my friend?
Your
Liz?
best friend? Yeah.
Yeah,
Liz is
so-
gorgeous. Liz is gorgeous.
Yeah.
How has that? So Albert has a best friend for 20 years. Esta muchacha está hermosa. How have you handled anybody you've dated, and then here comes Liz?
So recently, when I meet a woman, that I bring it up right away, and I let them know because they have to know that she's an important part of my life. Unfortunately, the ex never approved of it, so I know the trying issues that come into a relationship with having a female best friend.
So what did you do with the friendship of? Because you were married. How long were you with the ex?
Oh,
Longer than you
on
and Liz?
off almost 20 years.
It sounds like
But-
too much when you went, oh.
Yeah,
See.
it's just because it was on and off.
But who came first, Liz or your ex?
Oh no, my ex. Well, no, yeah, my ex.
So, y luego Liz,
Because-
así
see,
como está de hermosa, she didn't take to
The
it then?
thing is that me and Liz, we deployed together. We were in the military together. We ran missions in Iraq together. I mean, we were in certain situations that bond is
Traumatic.
created.
Yeah, it's traumatic
And so-
bonding.
yeah, so I mean, but it's never crossed the line.
Right.
Never.
Right.
And so you can't just say, no, I'm going to stop talking to you. Because
Right.
it doesn't work because it's a relationship, it's a bond.
Not everybody's like that, though.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I lost my best friend. We were best friends since we were 16, and I lost him like 5-6 years ago because the new partner couldn't handle the friendship, even though he lived in Washington area. And believe me, that pains me because we've been best friends since we were 16.
Yeah, yeah.
Me duele.
And when you're in a relationship, I think the interaction, of course, goes down because now you're focused on your partner,
Right.
and not on the friendship with your best friend. However, it doesn't go away; it's still there.
Exactly.
And the thing
yeah.
is that you also have to respect your new partner
Yes.
because you
Yeah.
talk about your old partner just to bring it up so there's not like anything in the closet that you're like hiding, right? But you also have to have the respect for the person that you're now with and not always bring up your past. Not always. You're like, my ex this. You bring it up and you brought it up and that was it. You don't talk about your ex all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There's boundaries.
There is.
Out
I
of
mean,
respect, it's like, hey,
out of-
you know what?
yeah, and
This is
that's-
it. And that's
that's-
it.
And you have to set those boundaries. Como tú, Freddie. Very talented artist, attractive. And I'm glad to have a different age group in our
20
panel
times.
today.
Right.
He's hot.
No. Well, no.
Thank you.
Because I wanted to have a panel that can, como Freddie.
diversity.
And me and Dad were talking about it last night. Le digo, how does Freddie handle, Fred Sr., how do you handle, because, and Fred and I were laughing, y le dije, well, we'll have that question for Freddie.
See, Fred, you should have got.
How does it
¿Ves?
feel to be so hot?
No, pero how does Freddie? How do you handle the girls that are your friends, but there's attraction? Who sets the boundaries? Do you set boundaries?
Yeah, usually for me, it's me that isn't gonna make the move or anything like that. Because I do have a few female friends that have made it clear like that they would, take it further than that. But I just keep them at just friends.
See,
It's just the way it is. And I think the main thing in all this that you guys are talking about is it's if the other person, it takes a strong person to be confident that you're not going to do anything. I think most of it is like if they feel threatened of the other person. Maybe they might be attractive. You think they are attractive or whatever. But I think that's what the big thing is that they feel threatened by that other person.
That's a good point. Very good point.
very
Yeah.
good point.
That's what it
See.
always is. Because if they're not, if like say your female friends aren't attractive to the girl you're seeing around, they're not going to feel threatened by it. They're like, this, whatever, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're friends with some attractive people and you start dating someone, they're obviously going to feel threatened by that.
That's an excellent
Yeah,
point.
it sure
Have
is.
you ever run into a situation when you made an agreement to be your friend and you're my friend and you're attracted to each other, but the agreement is like, you're my friend. But then all of a sudden, your friend that you had an agreement with sees you with another female and there's jealousy.
Yeah, that's happened. That's happened a bunch of times.
How do you handle it? Yeah.
I mean, it sucks because you can't control what you feel because you start creating. Because sometimes it starts off as romance, ending up as friendship, which I think is a lot safer because you actually started off as romance and then end up in friendship, which can go a lot longer. But when you start off as friendship and then go into romance, which, you start creating like some sort of like attraction sexually or not, or whatever the fuck it is. It could end a little wrong. Why? Because now you ended up from friendship to romance and to like nothing. Why? Because we ended up not.
Well, I think the
working
discussion has to happen up front with that person and set that, hey,
the
are
thing
we
is
going to
that-
be friends with benefits or are we just going to...
That's a good point.
But
yeah.
words are words. Feelings are different. When you actually start getting into someone's feelings, you can say, look, I said this and I was like, I wasn't planning this. I can't control my feelings. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and
really-
you're right. You're right. I get where you're coming from.
I'm falling for you.
yeah.
Like, I didn't know, but you're my friend. But like
But,
all of a sudden, I wake up and I think about you every fucking day.
And I think once you establish I guess on both sides, right, whether it be male or female, and say, hey, you know what, let's just keep
I
it as
think
friends.
it's a coward
or
way of
let's-
saying that I'm not ready for you, and it's a way for people to actually do their thing and have their cake and eat it because they're look. I told you I wasn't gonna be your friend, and I'm still getting mine from you, and I'm still over here doing my own thing.
So
which
can
is-
Rick, can you be in a platonic relationship with a girlfriend who's extremely good looking, pero not friends with benefits? Like, what would it take for her and you to keep those boundaries? Ella está súper guapa, tú también eres un galán hermoso. So how do you keep it? Is there flirtation?
Mande.
Ah!
Dijo galán hermoso.
Luego
Ay,
se le pararon
no.
las orejas.
Sorry, I was texting. Dije galán hermoso, mande.
Es que yo queremos que un día te vamos a sentar aquí.
You called me.
You rang.
You rang. So, ¿cómo le haces tú? Do you have very attractive female friends?
I have a lot of friends.
And is it sexual by nature, or can you be in a friendship that's platonic with a good-looking girl?
Definitely.
See?
Yes.
I think it actually
Yeah?
starts, and a lot of women think that a man will sit there and poke whatever walks across you, and it's not actually true. A man is a lot more sensitive because we came from a mother. We came from a female. So we're a lot more sensitive than the female because we actually have feelings that women don't think we have.
Yeah.
So
We don't think y'all do.
our
I'll tell you how I do
Podrida la
it.
vieja.
You know
our
how-
anatomy works different, bro. If I don't like a female, I'm like, I'm not gonna be there. I'm not gonna work.
Yeah, well,
Why?
it just depends what you're feeling. at the
Dinos,
time.
Albert, what were you
Females
going to
think
say?
that like as soon as the female's there, you're like, oh no,
Like
it's not gonna
me
work.
and my best friend, I mean, we talk to each other like if we were best guy friends.
Right.
You know, she'll talk to me like if I was a guy.
Right.
You know, ¿qué rollo? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué
Ándale.
güey?
So you're not a guy?
Yeah. No, her.
Oh, and she's gorgeous. Así como
Yeah.
nos hablamos, sí, tú, mugre molida.
Yeah, she's
Chivo.
she's a 10. I mean,
Yeah, beyond a 10. See.
yeah.
Miss Jasmine, do you think that at this point, if your partner said, oh, I met this amazing coworker, she just started, pero está chula la vieja.
Okay, so in the last podcast,
Oh yeah,
it was something about
they talked about it. You guys talked about it.
it
huh?
was something like best friends. Like I don't remember really what it was.
Is it cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Part two.
so his new best friend that's a girl from work, oh, she's so pretty, skinny, like so pretty, like she's so pretty. I think
No,
she's so
but
pretty.
are you saying that or him?
I'm saying that.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
she did say that in the
I'm
last
saying that.
podcast.
See,
Yeah,
that's the threat part. That's what I'm telling you.
Ándale.
No,
exactly.
Not
Oh.
not threatened at all. She's beautiful. I appreciate girls. So, I guess also because I'm like, go hang out with her. Like she wants to like party with us. Like invite her. Let's do this. Let's do that. Go. Like I also tell him, go with your friends. Like I'll stay home with our baby. It's fine. Like I'm not. If the guys are gonna do it, the guys are gonna do it.
But don't
It's-
open up the
I agree
So-
with you. I
But then
agree
again,
with you.
Don't open up the doors for you to say go. Let's go.
Well,
Hey, but that's key though what
Yeah.
she's saying because
Yeah.
she's involving her
yeah.
to be
Yes.
part of what her boyfriend and her
Right.
have.
And that's confidence.
Yes.
So that's a great segue to the next thing. Will you allow your partner to go hang out with her by
themselves.
By
yes.
themselves?
Yes.
Let's
I mean,
ask
he would
it.
let me know.
Honestly,
he would have to let me
you're
know.
opening up doors for something really weird.
So si
No,
tú tuvieras
I disagree.
pareja, you wouldn't let
it's
her?
It's not dishonesty. It's not lack of trust. It's nature. I mean,
I disagree
ver.
because
am I wrong?
Yes.
I am wrong.
No,
I
it's
like I said, I
nature.
disagree.
It's nature?
You
También
know,
Freddy nature?
No, I mean, like he's right. If a girl is attracted to me, she's going to be throwing certain signs.
Pero let's say que she's a
But-
friend, she's not attracted
Yeah.
to you.
As much as you can trust me, I will not do anything. But the other person will actually like.
Well, no, because
And you guys are not being honest.
You gotta,
No.
you gotta think
I'm-
of, you know,
No,
I,
no,
I,
because
I
nature
experience
intends.
it.
It's,
on-
Yeah.
it's the
I
challenge.
lived through it.
It's the challenge from the other female that will actually say, you know what, you're taken, but I'm gonna see how good I can be.
Fíjate
No,
que
it
Albert
depends
and
on
I
the
have a
person.
very good friend. He was on the very first panel, Angel, our
Women
friend
are
Angel.
crazy.
yeah.
Women are crazy.
No, Angel
Some-
and I.
yeah, some are.
Angel and I
And they
hang
will
out
throw
for
themselves on
dinner, and he's married. He's been married for several years. He's a classmate of mine from UTEP. And you've been to dinner with us.
Yeah.
There's no flirtation.
No.
Angel's married. Back then I was, in a relationship, pero nos íbamos a
Yeah,
cenar
going through
y
it.
nada. And it's a lot of therapy, a lot of education, no attraction
Now he
whatsoever.
said,
No.
when you're single,
No, in
but when
a
you
relationship.
have a partner, you
No?
don't go out on dates with other people.
Tú, Freddie, would
straight
you,
up
if
just-
you were, let's say that you've been in a year relationship and she comes with a friend, can she go to dinner with her friend of 5 years, best friend, male, attractive, without you? What do you think?
wait, she had this friend before we started dating?
Before you.
Definitely. Yes. I say yes.
You know, well, in that instance, I mean, dinners by themselves? How often is said dinners happening? That's what I want
Like
to know.
Well-
con Angel, we hang out once a month or
Yeah,
so.
once in a
Then the
while.
boundary
Alright.
would be set.
Then that's
Yes.
fine. I mean, if it comes before me, then that's fine. I think the issue is now if it's after you're already seeing someone and then they get a new friend, that's
Red flags, ¿verdad?
yeah, that's kind of
It's different.
regardless of the boundaries, when you are, like you said, when you're single, it makes sense. But when you're with a partner, it's not okay for you to be going to have dinner with another female. It's completely unethical.
Okay.
Regardless of the trust.
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because
Yeah?
if I like you're asking
Yeah.
me if she
Okay,
goes to dinner
so-
with this
Espérate,
guy,
let's see what.
if she
you know.
goes to dinner with this guy now, if I go to dinner with some girl that's attractive, she's probably not going to be having that
Of
shit.
course.
Are you doing it to get back at her because she did it first?
No. I'm just
Or-
saying if it were to happen, like if she's going to dinner with this guy or whatever, and now I go to dinner with a attractive female, not to get back, but just like you guys are saying, friends.
Yeah.
I think
Well, see,
she
because
probably
your
wouldn't have
intention
it.
is not to try to, like, you already know everything about your friend. It's just to keep up, like, oh, yeah, like, my mom
Yeah,
and dad,
hang,
no sé
hang
qué,
out
like,
or
Hang out.
yeah, like,
talk.
just hanging out. It's just like, let's just have a meal really quick, and then we'll bring something for your partner. Is that
Sí.
okay? Okay, see, then
and
let's
you
do
need
it.
that in a relationship every once in a while.
I agree. I
you need a
agree.
break.
I
You
don't
need
know.
a-
Do you think we have time to hear that YouTube? Do you guys the YouTube I shared with you earlier? Does it make sense, or do you want me to describe it more or less, Joe?
Yeah,
What do you
'cause
think?
it's a little long. I
Estaba
think.
long.
Yeah.
So what the girl is saying is that if you have a friend who's, what word did she use? Bimbo. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, bimbo.
Bimbo. If
Oh,
she's
yeah.
so, let's say you and I we're friends,
Right.
and I'm super bimbo y tú tienes novia, verdad? Pero all I bring to you is puro party, pura loquera. But then you have Jasmine, who brings a lot of structure,
has value.
a lot of guidance, value. When you meet with her, it's to process all these things. Whatever you're going through emotionally, work-wise. So what the video is saying is that the girlfriend has to be leery of me, who's a bimbo, versus a female who's, gorgeous, but she brings a lot of quality and
Wealth,
value.
stature, yeah.
Uh-huh. And everybody wants to hang out with Jasmine, like everybody.
But when you have a true friendship with a friend, you're not going to divide them. She's going to be a friend of you and your partner because she's your
I
friend. She's
love
your friend.
that.
I'm not going to go see
That's
my
the way
friend.
it should be. Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, I got my girl. Look, this is my friend. And
See.
then now they become friends. We're all friends.
That's what going back
Because
to.
I-
That's why I said that you have to involve them
You have
in
to
the
respect your
relationship.
partner regardless
Yes,
of what it
That's
You do
the
respect,
answer that I
yes.
wanted for today's podcast, because I think that men and women can be friends. Porque mira, tú con Liz, gorgeous woman. You show up and you would hope that you all could do things together, whoever your partner's going to be.
Right, yeah.
And who's accepting to her. Tú, Freddy, ahorita, you have a bunch of friends.
Yeah, well, when I'm seeing someone, when I invite them with my group of friends, and they meet them right away. So it's
Right.
not really a strange thing if
Right.
I'm hanging out
Okay, we're on
with
a
said
roll.
people.
Under the bus.
So as long as you,
No. Like, that's a good point.
no, I'm single, so there's no.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah,
We're
Freddy's
good.
single.
He's not a player. He's just select.
Yeah, and as long as you bring it up, and let your partner know.
That is completely true. As long as you don't play with someone's mind, you're good.
Sí, dinos.
Yeah, if you're
Estabas
honest with your
diciendo
No,
que-
but
partner.
I mean, when you have an agreement and you actually have come to an agreement, you're like, hey, look, this is my situation. I'm not into the situation. Once again, you interchange chemistry. You get together and you sleep together. He falls asleep with you. You fall asleep with her. Whatever the situation is. After you actually exchange these interactions, you start to create, as a person, because we're human beings, you start to actually fall for the girl and she starts to fall with you. Even after you said, you're only my friend. And that's an excuse that a lot of people say. It's an excuse.
So you think it's an excuse?
It's an excuse for you to justify
for you to
your
get
fucking
stimulation? No,
No.
but for you, is it an excuse for you to get stimulation from the opposite sex? Because let's say guys will say, hey, let's go golf, let's go have a drink.
That's normal.
So that's the stimulation that you need. But I'm a very good friend to several people. Albert and I have been friends for a long time.
Right.
And I think that when we go out and do our thing, I mean, it's a lot of stimulation back and forth, mentally, emotionally. Pero why is it that you cannot be friends and that bring that stimulation, same as if you went to happy hour with the boys?
Well, the thing is that when you actually, per se, let's say you meet someone and you guys are best friends, you meet a man, you're not going to just go out with him because now you have your second half. Now you're actually going out with your partner, you're going out with your friends because he becomes his friend. You don't give your partner the doubt of like, what is she doing? No, it's disrespect.
So,
for you to
como
actually go out with someone else.
let's say you and I, let's say that Albert and I were already friends, and then I meet you, and we start dating. Let's say, would you accept Albert? Very good-looking man. Would you accept? Yeah,
Of course. Why? Because he's been there before I have. But then again, okay, what are you doing? Oh, I'm hanging out with the girls. At the end of the day, you're with Albert the whole time. Why? Because you're trying to conceive and you're actually trying to not let me know of something that a lo mejor muchas veces we do something that looks
Wait, but now
bad.
you're doing something shady. You're not being honest.
Exactly, yeah.
You have to be honest.
Yeah.
You
So
can't-
it's like, hey, you know what? I'm going with Albert. We just got off of work. He's right across the street. I'm like, I'm cool. I'm busy. You guys have a good time.
ándale.
Right.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
Why? Because I can't make it. But you
Yeah.
can make it. And he's my friend too. Hey, you guys,
Yeah.
it's okay. But then when you actually like start getting carried away, like, hey, I'm going out with my friend. I'm going out with my friend. And you're like, hey, the time. Because nowadays,
Well-
a lot of people don't have the actual time. You work, you get off of work. Let's have dinner because we can have time.
Happy hour
you know what?
drinks.
Once you're in a relationship and you have that other partner, I mean that friendship with the opposite sex, the interaction is going to reduce, and you have to spend that time with your current partner so that they don't feel like that.
Ándale.
Exactly.
But I think having a friend from the opposite sex makes you very well-rounded.
Yes,
My
yes.
best friend, like 30 years, male.
Because you're reading the mind of a man.
Por eso, when I've been in a relationship, I remember with Christopher, who was here on our last panel, and then I would overreact. My best friend would step in and be like, acuérdate que this is how men think. And so he would
Yes,
regroup me and
that-
rewind me to think like, man, ando de dramática. Like, it's too much. So what do you think, Jasmine? Like, do you think that when you speak with your guy friends, do they kind of make
guide you or-
make you
Guys
more
have
well-rounded?
different conversations than girls.
Sí.
We don't focus on what's going on with our personal life. I don't bring my personal life in front of anyone. I don't go and like maybe women are different, but I don't go to the bar and talk about my problems. I go to the bar and I am away from.
But that would be a best friend. Like, tell me,
Go
Jasmine.
ahead,
I
Jasmine.
mean, I was gonna say, like, with my best friend, yes, we do talk about, problems or whatever's going on in our lives, but I know that he does that with his guy friends too.
Ándale.
I know that he does, but I also feel like because now in our generation, we're very open to our feelings. So my best friend, he's you could say kind of like a girl. Like, he's like, oh my God, like, let me make sure you're okay, like, blah, blah, blah. And because I wasn't, like, brought up to, not to say that I wasn't brought up right, but I wasn't brought up to be like, oh, well, let me go think of someone else really quick, like, out of nowhere. Like, I don't think that way. And
Yeah.
he does.
Right.
So he's very in touch with his feelings and his inner heart or whatever. So I think it just depends on the person too. Like, he's a big softie.
Right.
So we do talk a lot about like feelings, and I know with his guy friends he does too.
Do you
Ándale.
like softies or you like someone to demand? It's not demanding because there's a difference
Softies.
between.
We don't
control.
wanna, no.
Both.
I think there's got to be a
Equal
balance.
lips,
Yeah, there's got
no.
to be a balance.
I
You
don't know.
can't
I don't
be-
like anybody
You
to
can't be
over...
machismo. You can't
No, ya eso
Because
ya está
there's
viejo.
a difference between controlling and being in control. There's a difference.
I mean,
don't
you
wanna be
guide.
controlling.
We want our man to guide us, pero
In control,
también...
not controlling.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfectly said. So let me throw a weird question in this one, because I know you and Liz travel a lot.
Okay.
So, would you let your partner travel with the best friend?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like.
And then the
like-
next week, I'll take my friend on a trip.
Pero let's say,
it goes hand.
That's
we-
getting back.
yeah, that's getting back. Let's
you
say
don't wanna
that
play
every
tit for tat?
year you go to Disneyland because you've been best friends with her for como les 20 years. Now you have a new girlfriend a year into it. Freddie, would you let your, because you're single, one day you're going to meet somebody. What if
Hey, good
she
looking.
already what if she has Tú
Cállate,
también
muela.
estás guapo, muela. Chihuahua. Todo el panel está guapo. That's why I
Mande.
wanted this panel.
Mande.
So what do you think, Freddie? Would you let her keep her yearly tradition of SeaWorld with her best guy friend?
Yearly tradition? Or
Yeah.
this is
Let's
just
say that
happening?
a yearly tradition, they go to SeaWorld every year for the last 5 years.
All right. If it was before me and it's a tradition, 5 years, if I see that, that's fine. But I think
Yeah.
anything, if it's not a tradition, all of a sudden, yeah, it's just me and him are going to SeaWorld.
Ah,
That's
good
a different
point.
thing.
But then you get invited. That's the respect.
Exactly.
But
if
why
I
is
get
it he
invited,
getting
it's fine
invited?
though.
Yeah.
You didn't say
Or
I
at
got
least
invited.
talk
think-
about it.
I was
I would
about
want
to
you
say
to
that.
answer
You
that.
would. You
Yeah.
want. You
Am
want
I
to make sure you
am I at a
include your
swingers
partner.
club or what's going
Yeah,
on?
no. If I got invited,
When
then
you have a partner, you devote yourself to
You
your
have
partner.
to. You have to involve your
Yes.
partner.
Your partner
if you're
is going
invited.
to be.
Yeah.
You're right. So now your partner is, like I said, your other half. It's your yin to the yang, and the reason it's created with a yin to the yang because the eye looks at your tail and the other eye looks at the other tail. Your weaknesses are my strengths. So that's the
Cochino.
yin to the yang. So that's a partnership. So I'm not gonna let you down and give you doubts of me going somewhere out of town, staying in the same room, sleeping on the same bed with another female.
I
that's
didn't
not
Okay, no,
me.
I'm not
Yeah,
sleeping
you
in the
took
same
it to an
bed.
extreme.
No.
No.
If you're financially said you're going, everybody has their own room. Nobody's sleeping in the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
bed.
Well,
Chico.
Why
and
would
me,
you take
me
a
and
trip
my
with
friend,
another female when
we
you
were
already
both
have
single.
another?
Yeah.
And we were both.
It's
sleep
trust.
in the
It's
same room,
trust.
You know, it's the trust.
Yeah.
It's the,
It is trust.
Now-
it is trust, but it's also
The thing is
respect comes before trust.
you have to make your partner comfortable.
Priority.
No, not only a priority, but comfortable with the situation. You have to always be honest. You can't be shady. You can't be. You have to have that trust.
But don't give your partner a reason to doubt ever.
No?
Well, no,
You
of
know?
course not.
Tell
no.
us, Freddie.
I mean,
I think again it comes down to the first. You didn't mention the invite, so that's
Yes.
a little different. If you get invited, then I don't see you obviously invited. You had the chance to go, and if you don't, then that's just
If you don't get invited,
yeah. If you don't get
That's
invited,
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't
That
get
will be
invited, it's a
How
whole-
disrespectful.
That's a whole
Yes.
different situation.
And
Then
it
it's like
changes-
the partner wants to keep you away from the other
Yes.
person,
Yeah.
the best
Yes.
friend.
then that's why
not
why
right.
wasn't I invited to this
exactly.
this vacation or whatever's going on?
Exactly.
So
And
if
that's
you get
why-
invited, then it's
Yeah.
fine. I don't see the issue. If they tell you, "Hey, we're gonna do this or whatever, let's go." Oh, I can't. You guys go have fun. That's a whole different thing. Now,
Ándale.
if they just say, "Hey, me and him are going to Disneyland on said
Yeah.
date," then that's okay.
Yeah.
But
See,
Those are one of the choices we make when you actually meet someone. It's because you're devoting yourself to that person.
yeah.
And you're no longer able. No, not that you're able. Okay, right? But let's say, for example, hey, where I go, she goes. Why? She's my woman. She's my lady.
As Fred Sr. and I were
That's where we
talking
go.
this week, ¿verdad? Except Fred Sr. is too shy to come on camera. But weren't we saying that you said eventually you evolve into a relationship and time with your friends, of course, is going to lapse
Diminish.
a little.
Yeah, it
Sí,
diminishes.
Little, and it doesn't mean diminish maybe once a month, but
Yeah.
we start working on the relationship and
Right.
those guy friends, girlfriends.
and if your best friend is your best friend, they will understand. They will be
yeah.
supportive.
Completely.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely.
You know?
Because let's say that the relationship goes south. You don't get rid of your friends because who's going to pick you up, as many of us have dealt with.
Your family. At the
Yeah,
end of the
but-
day, it's going to be your brother.
But it's
Te
not
salió
the
bien
same.
tóxico.
It's not the same.
No, es la verdad. At the end of the
It
day,
is not the same.
¿Qué, Fred?
no, yeah. So a situation I've had is I was in a relationship, and then some of my female friends, I guess, they caught the vibe that the girl I was seeing wasn't fond of them.
Right.
So they kind of just backed off, and they wouldn't really hang out with me. But after that relationship had ended, they were like, "Nah, we just stayed away because."
Yeah, they were
Right.
respectful of the
Yeah, they were
situation.
respect. But you
Yeah.
were able to pick up and go forward?
Oh yeah, they were just like, no, because I would still invite them to different things, but
Right.
they would just not go. I just wouldn't really ask why. They just wouldn't, you know.
That's
just
a
like, "Oh, thanks."
good friendship.
is,
We know
yeah.
when to back off, ¿verdad,
Yeah.
Jasmine?
So at the end of that, when that relationship was over, I would tell
You
them,
go
hey,
back.
we're going, and they would come back like, oh no, we
Right.
would just stay away because that girl kind of seemed like they didn't want us there. So we were just,
No, you
I
stay
would just
away
wouldn't
from it.
show up.
Tell
I,
us. Jasmine.
I think it's also because my best friend, he just recently started talking to this girl. She's so amazing, but I tell like the dance group también, like we're all separated together, and so we're always like we need to make it a point to include the partners, like the new
Yes.
boyfriends, girlfriends
Yes.
of our dance partners to
Right.
make them feel included because yes,
Correct.
we do dance with each other.
Right.
And that could be like a issue, but that's why like with my best friend, I go and talk to the girl all the time. But only like when I'm not a really good texter tampoco.
It's
So
reassurance.
but yeah, like he's my best friend. Do I get a little bit jealous when he doesn't dance with me? A little bit, but that's different. I'm just kidding. It's because I only dance with
'Cause you
him,
wanna
and I only
dance.
feel comfortable dancing with him.
Of
So I don't dance
course.
with nobody else, and I love to dance.
Right.
So
Are you a jealous person?
Obviously not.
to a certain extent, I can get jealous, but I'm like, for what? Like I want nothing to do with him. He's not my anything.
Love interest.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to get with him. Like, oh no, like it's just, girl hormones or whatever. But like I'm smarter than to like I'm better than my head to think like, why is he still talking to her? Why isn't he taking me out to dance?
I
Yeah,
think
you're
it's
confident.
I think it's anything that's going to change the equilibrium of the friendship. Any of us can be fearful of, like me and you have been friends for a long time, Albert, and we hang out. But let's say that in comes a female that you're interested in. Our equilibrium's going to be a little off. Am I going to
like at
miss our
first.
dinners
Yeah,
together,
that's
like
natural.
our country
But
dancing?
you deal about it. I mean, you deal with
See?
it by talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
You
See.
establish.
Get over it.
You get over it.
Yeah.
I know that our producer has lined up 3 more shows after this.
Yeah.
Pero,
We're good.
see, I want to touch base with you all for closing remarks.
No
Any
more questions.
advice? Ya me eché todas las questions.
See? Yeah.
Salieron
I
buenas.
say respect.
Chivito.
Talk,
Yes.
talk.
Honesty.
I just think if you're gonna have the friends, you make sure whoever you're talking to, you start inviting them and introducing it to them early
Yes.
on. If you
Yes.
wait till later, it's gonna become an issue because it's gonna seem like a new thing. As long as you do it at the beginning and just start introducing them,
Very
I think you should
open.
be fine.
I love that
Yeah.
completely.
When I date, it's the first thing I tell them. Hey, my best friend's a girl. Do you have an issue with that?
Yep. Yeah. I remember, and even me, who am your friend, you
Yeah.
did tell me I come with a Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey.
Amazing. Yeah.
Because my best friend knows everything about me. And that's where I was saying I disagree about the family, that you were saying you go to your family, Rick, because you can't talk to
Sí,
your family
no.
like you can
Not
talk to your
always,
best friend.
because you don't want to put everything on
But
them. But there's
no,
certain people.
but like with your friend, you can spill the whole beans,
Ándale.
everything.
Yeah.
Sexually,
Tell us,
mentally.
Yes, because it's unbiased.
Correct.
Ándale.
I just think that again, people are observant. Everyone looks around, right? You watch people and all that. So it's one thing to say this is my best friend or whatever, but that's my point is you got to actually show the interaction early on. So invite them, let them see how
Yep.
how you're
Like
interacting
it's
with the
just
people.
friends.
You can't.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing is you can't just tell them that and then expect them to be okay
Honesty
with it.
is
Yeah.
key.
You got to bring them
Yes.
in, let them see what's going on, and then if nothing's going on, then they'll be able to see that nothing's going
Yeah.
on.
Ándale.
And remember
Exactly.
that's the reason
And
why
involve
we're having
them.
this conversation
And
with
involve
4 people.
them.
Because your life is different than my life.
Yeah, don't you love it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone has a different perspective with the way, like I run to certain people, you run to certain people, and that's the reason why we're here. Because what would you do?
And that's why I love this panel, because Albert and I were discussing, like, we have 20s, 40s, 50s. So I wanted to get everybody's opinion. And I remember when we did the Ricky D's, ¿te acuerdas? It brought like mind-blowing responses that we weren't equipped for porque pues we're older. Like we're old school.
we're
maybe
different
set in our ways.
generational
Sí, so
ideas and
completely.
feelings and
Yeah, once an Indian knows an Indian.
Eso, Isleta.
that's right.
So I really want to thank you guys. Honestly, this was a extremely fun podcast. You guys are welcome back cuando tengan tiempo, quieran, pero thank you guys, really. Con todo respeto, thank you guys for being so honest. We appreciate you guys.
And we gotta do another podcast con el subject que el video, the video I showed you.
Sí.
That's very interesting.
So we have
Yeah,
to do...
Cheating number
Is it
two.
cheating too? And y pa seguirle. And also to our audience, if you guys have, we can't go live or take comments, unfortunately, due to
We
time
will
structure. See? Okay, we're working it out at the studio, pero if there's any comments or anything that you guys want us to discuss, or even please add to the comments on this topic, I think that it would be highly educational to everybody who doesn't have the community. We have a big community and we're able to talk, pero please leave your comments. Follow us on Psycho Uncensored Productions, Sweet and Low 02 at Instagram. Albert?
Albert Avila at Instagram.
Freddie?
Yeah, Freddy_1172 on Instagram. DopamineProductions.tv is also the website and the Instagram. So you guys can find me there.
Jasmine?
Jasmine Alexis. But I also don't really use Instagram, so
Okay,
I
so
never post.
we'll follow Jasmine at Ricky
TikTok.
D's
Follow her
on
on TikTok.
on Wednesdays at 7, ¿verdad? 6?
Eight.
7?
Eight.
Eight.
Yeah,
Ricky
8
D's
lessons.
at 8 for lessons.
And then
Chivo?
Rick Stick, because I'm a drummer. So Rick Stick 1930 on Instagram.
Joe?
Yes, thank you.
Psycho Unlimited.
He's
Dinos
like,
tu
yes.
link.
Unlimited.
Dinos tu link.
Psycho Uncensored
Okay.
on
Psycho
Facebook,
Uncensored.
TikTok, and Instagram.
And
you,
thank
bro.
you again for
Thank you,
hosting
man.
us.
Thank you.
Amazing producer, y'all. Bueno,
Gracias.
gracias.